Welcome back, guys. So there's been a lot of news as of late concerning the Atari VCS, and we've covered a lot of it here. But just recently, it has came to light that they have faked their footage for the system, specifically with Tempest 4000 and Yar's Revenge. So when you really dig into this, and you dig into this company, people who are involved, people who are previously involved, it all kind of makes sense. I'm saying take your money out, back out now while you can. So there's been a series of crowdfunding nightmares as far as Atari is concerned. And today I just want to kind of give little tidbits of details on a few of those so you can see and try to make the best decision as possible. If you've already backed the VCS or if you're thinking about it, maybe this video will change your mind. I don't know. My aim is just to give you guys information that I have seen and has been brought to my attention. So yes, the developer of Tempest 4000 did not make this game for the VCS. The Atari VCS is running off of Linux, and the creator of the game has said there is no Linux distribution of it. So that is kind of odd. At the same time though, Atari is the publisher of Tempest 4000. So you got to kind of look at what's really going on there. If Atari wants this on the Atari box, Atari VCS, I mean, I'm sure it'll happen, it will happen. But just kind of faking footage is the weird thing. They haven't shown us the actual device. They haven't really given us a lot of details. Yeah, there's some specs and whatnot out there, but as far as like hands-on people playing this thing, hasn't been much of anything going on as of yet other than faked footage. Now, once you start going back in time, there is a specific person who has been linked to most of these nightmares as far as Atari is concerned, for the past few years anyway. The next Kickstarter that I'm going to talk about, or crowdfunding, wasn't really a Kickstarter, was Roller Coaster Tycoon for the Switch. So that was back in January 2018, and it wasn't actually a Kickstarter or Indiegogo. It was on Start Engine. It's an equity investment funding type platform where you can invest in the project and get a return out of it. Kind of sounds interesting, but it's revenue sharing essentially. A lot of people were kind of put off by that. That was Atari as well. Why would you need to crowdfund this? This particular game that people thought they were porting to the Switch was pretty much a mobile game. Really put a lot of people off with that. Don't know exactly how that has gone, where it has gone from there. The Start Engine page is disappeared, so I haven't been able to gather as much information as I would like with that. But I know it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way back when that was announced. Hey, if you want Roller Coaster Tycoon, a port of this game on the Switch, give us some money and invest in it. But they also bragged at the same time, we've made a ton of money publishing and doing this and doing that. We've made billions of dollars. So why go to equity investment and crowdfunding and all that kind of stuff? Just didn't make a lot of sense. Now this is really where things start to tie in as far as Atari and a specific individual who was involved with the Atari VCS and was involved in a few other projects that had some kind of ties to Atari. So back in February 2017, the Atari Game Band was announced. And that was, a little Kickstarter thing. It was a gaming smartwatch, had Atari games, had an Atari association. There was an Atari edition, had Atari games on it. It was supposed to be amazing. It was supposed to take a smartwatch and be the most powerful smartwatch in existence and have all these gaming type things going on with it. You could move around games and save. It was kind of weird, but, essentially from when they showed it, it was just a basic Android smartwatch. And it's been well over a year, and where's everybody's Game Band at, right? The other thing with that is the project actually has no Atari association with it whatsoever any longer. A lot of people are like, I don't want it if I'm not getting my Atari edition. If Atari has nothing to do with this anymore, I don't want it. If there's no Atari games, I don't want it. It's just a basic smartwatch. Now, the person who was involved in that, his name is Fergal Mack. Fergal Mack worked for Atari up until a few months ago. Back in December, he left the company. he was the general project manager for the Atari box or the Atari VCS. So he was very heavily involved in that device. And not just the game band, but he also had another piece of involvement with another product that kind of floundered. And that was the Stormfly. It was a wearable USB PC drive type thing. Essentially, people found out it was just a scam. It was like a couple dollar Chinese USB thumb drive built into a wristband. Nothing really came of it, but between those two Kickstarters, the Stormfly and the game band, you wound up getting the Minecraft game band, which was kind of a combination of the two products. But a lot of people are, they didn't get what they wanted, and they're still waiting to find out what the heck is going on. So Fergal Mac, he was involved heavily with all this stuff and had very close ties to Atari, worked for Atari, was involved in the Atari VCS up to a few months ago. Left the project. The only one he didn't have involvement in, as far as I know, was the Roller Coaster Tycoon Switch fiasco. But who knows? Maybe he did have some kind of, piece of it. Maybe his DNA was part of that in some way. I don't know. But with all these little, crap storms of projects and Atari being associated with it, we all have to remember the Atari of now is not the Atari we remember back in the day. Has changed hands, bunch of different things. Bankruptcy, I know I've talked about this stuff before, and there's a lot of information if you're interested in the history of Atari. But really, people's hopes and dreams of getting a new Atari console, that's definitely amazing. My interest was definitely piqued when they announced the Atari VCS, or when the Kickstarter, or Indiegogo, my bad, when the Indiegogo went live. Two different things, Indiegogo, Kickstarter. Indiegogo, you don't really have to prove anything, but you always gotta, with these campaigns, especially Indiegogo and Kickstarter, you're funding a project with no guarantee you'll get anything in return. They can make all the promises they want and give you dates and timelines and all that stuff. And we've seen it numerous times in the past where either projects don't come to fruition or they're delayed until everybody forgets about it. It's a scary thing. So, a lot of people pointed out in my previous Atari VCS video, like, hey, for the hundreds of dollars that they're asking for this thing, that you have to put down and wait over a year to possibly get it, you could buy a Nintendo Switch, you could buy a PS4, you could buy an Xbox One, you could build a budget PC that could play everything the dang Atari VCS could play. So definitely think about these things, dig into it a little more, look at the Roller Coaster Tycoon fiasco a little bit more. And there's a lot of information out there concerning these projects and their failures and how they rub the community the wrong way. Don't just take my word for it. Do your research, look into it. That's all I wanted to do with this video, was give you guys a little tidbit of more information concerning all this nonsense going on out there so you can make a better decision for yourself. A lot of people want the Atari VCS. I'm hoping the best. They've already raised millions of dollars. And I really don't want to see a bunch of people being scammed out of their money. I'm hoping this thing drops. Is it going to become vaporware? I don't know. If it comes out and then it just, nobody supports it, there are no games made for it. Atari, if they have Tempest 4000 actually being ported to it, Yar's Revenge, all that kind of stuff, there's really no big companies tied to this device at this moment. Even back when the Ouya was announced, there was big companies who were partnered to make games for it, Square and several others. But what happened with that device? It was kind of a neat little thing, and I got one after the Kickstarter. I didn't back that project. I bought one when it was released to the public, and it was kind of neat, but they floundered on a lot of things, and it became just dust. A lot of people still might like that device, and I thought it was kind of cool, but there was a lot going for that at the time, and it was a different market at the time, and ultimately it still failed as far as, being a long-term product anyway. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with the Atari VCS, but I'm saying run. Don't give them your money. If you're enticed by that, I get a little bit of a discount, I say who cares about the discount? They're going to be making interest off of your money over the next year anyway. Take that money that you would be saving, invest it in something, and then make your money off of that, and then buy the device when it is actually available to the public and has been proven to be an actual product. I don't know, guys. I'm just going nuts. A lot of people are going nuts on this. You know, there's been a lot of companies out there doing similar things. Tommy Tallarico with the Intellivision, Rebirth Project, whatever you want to call it. I'm still waiting to see. I watched his live stream and all that stuff, and there's a lot of cool information. But the one thing I can appreciate with what he is doing is no crowdfunding. Nobody to be scammed. They're going to release their product. They're going to showcase it. They're going to talk about it more throughout this next year. When it's available, if you want one, you could buy it. If you don't want one, you could pass. You know what I mean? And I find that interesting, Atari, you've made billions of dollars, like you've bragged, but you have to keep going to these campaigns. Tommy Tallarico with the Intellivision, as far as we know right now, he has stated they are not doing any kind of crowdfunding. So come on now. I mean, be wary of these things, guys. Really do appreciate you guys stopping in. Smash that like button. Follow me on Twitter. Do all that cool stuff. And with that said, I will catch you guys next time. Peace out. Bye-bye. Boom.